The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions and its affiliates. Enjoy the show. Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of Talk Time with Val. It's been a little while, and I've missed you all. Mostly I've missed you, Jimmy. How have you been?
I've been fine.
You've been just fine?
Just fine.
All right, so Jimmy, I have some pretty interesting things to talk to you about. What do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about worms being born in Martian soil, or do you want to talk about a U.S. Navy crew that was grounded after the pilot drew a penis in the sky?
With what, smoke?
Well, a U.S. Navy air crew was grounded on Friday after using their advanced fighter jet to draw a giant image of a penis in the sky with the exhaust.
That sounds creative to me.
Well, the incident took place in skies over Okanogan County in Washington State on Thursday when a Navy EA-18 Growler warplane flew the unusual air pattern. Images of a condensed air trail in the shape of a penis immediately went viral on social media. A local television station said one mother in Okanogan County was concerned she might have to explain them to her young children. The Navy, which is trying to crack down on sexual assault in its ranks, issued a formal apology on Friday for what is called an irresponsible and immature act. Sophomoric and immature antics of a sexual nature have no place in naval aviation today, Vice Admiral Mike Shoemaker, the commander of Naval Air Forces, said in a statement. We will investigate this incident to get all facts and act accordingly. But seriously?
I give the guy credit for being creative and being able to do it. You know what I mean? It obviously look like a penis if they're all bitching about it.
I was just gonna say, it's like that takes some serious skill, man. He had
exactly. They should be promoting the guy.
Promoted him for what? Chief Artistic Engineer?
Yeah, there you go. Public relations.
Well, you know, I thought it was funny, but there you go. Now, did you hear about what was going on? ABC News, there was a journalist who did some reporting on Flynn. Did you hear about that?
No, and I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, I said ABC News, right? They had a top reporter who did a story on former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, and it sent U.S. stocks, the dollar and treasury yields lower on Friday, right?
So Brian Ross?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard he got suspended or something.
Right.
I forget what he was a reporter for.
ABC News.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they just suspended him. They didn't fire him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. ABC News said on Saturday it had suspended Brian Ross, its chief investigative correspondent, over an error in his reporting about former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, which sent U.S. stocks, the dollar, and treasury yields lower on Friday. We deeply regret and apologize for the serious error we made yesterday. As a result of our continued reporting over the next several hours, ultimately, we determined the information was wrong and we corrected the mistake on air and online, ABC News said in a statement. Effective immediately, Brian Ross will be suspended for 4 weeks without pay, added ABC News, owned by the Walt Disney Corporation. Flynn pleaded guilty on Friday to lying to the FBI about his contacts with Russia, and he agreed to cooperate with prosecutors delving into the actions of President Donald Trump's inner circle before he took office. Soon after, ABC News reported that Flynn, citing a confidant, was prepared to testify that Trump directed him to make contact with Russians when he was a presidential candidate. Wall Street's main indexes all fell by more than 1% after the report. ABC News later issued a correction that the source clarified that Trump had assigned Flynn and a small circle of senior advisors to find ways to improve relations with Russia and other hotspots during the presidential campaign. It was shortly after the election that President-elect Trump directed Flynn to contact Russian officials on topics that included working jointly against ISIS, ABC News said. So, yeah, that's kind of a big boo-boo there for Brian Ross. But at least they, they addressed it, right? So, you think he should be fired, Jimmy?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you impact world economy. Let's face it, you impact the US dollar, you impact world economy, right? You impact world economy, there should be consequences. You shouldn't just lose, 4 weeks of your job. You need to double check these things. You're bringing information to the masses. You know what I mean?
Right, and it was printing false shit.
Yeah.
Fake news. What else is new?
Well, now, listen, there is a ton of stuff that goes on in the world, right? And different people's interpretations, etc., of fact becomes what they call news. But here's the thing. I don't want your interpretation of fact if you're a journalist. I want you to tell me the fact and let me have my own interpretation, my own opinion. You know? And it's starting to get ridiculous where, I mean, I get that people's opinions are hard to set aside, but man, if you're a journalist and you're impacting so many people in the world, you have a responsibility to do that. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
It's kind of crazy. You looking forward to Christmas?
No, I haven't enjoyed Christmas since, I don't know, 2010. I think that was the last Christmas party I held.
Well, why?
The last time I seen my family all together was then.
I understand that. My last 4 Christmases have not been great. But this Christmas, I get to see my whole family. This Christmas.
So that's good for you.
I get to see my whole family. Yeah.
Is John going with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're both gonna go, and we're gonna have a house sitter, and
a house sitter for 2 weeks? Oh, because of the cats.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody has to stay with the babies and feed them and play with them and love on them and hug them, and you know how they are, Jimmy. They're the most spoiled children in the world.
Yep, I've been gone for weeks, and Paul's wife takes care of my cats, comes over and feeds them for me.
There you go. And my babies, they don't just need somebody to feed them. They need somebody to love on them, play with them, cuddle them, snuggle them, jump around.
Well, my cats ain't too cut. Well, one is. The other one ain't. She's very fussy on who touches her. I haven't fixed her, and she hasn't gotten knocked up yet, and she's 10 years old.
Okay. So she's very particular.
Yeah, she won't let no other cat touch her.
Good for her. Meanwhile, my 2 cuddle snuggle butts decided that my feet, my whole body is their playground. So they will lie down on me and pin me down. You know what it's like to be pinned down, and then they're literally bathing themselves on me, or they're kissing each other while they're on me. Like, I kid you not, Raja puts his arms up and around Mitzi's neck, pulls her in close, she snuggles down onto his tummy by his chest, and he holds her and he licks the top of her head or her side of her face, and she turns around and licks him, and they're just laying on top of me. And if I move, they both look up at me accusingly like, why are you moving? Can you not see we are busy loving on each other? It's insane. And Raja needs his rides. He likes to go for little rides in the car. So yeah, they're gonna have to have somebody here to do that stuff. A couple of my friends are gonna check in on them in between to play with them and stuff. But for the most part, we'll have a house.
I think you should let them rough it for. That way, there when you come back, they'll be a lot more happier for you.
Oh, they're always happy for me. Are you kidding me? On Friday night, I went out with a girlfriend. We ended up having a girls' evening at her house with with other people, right? Like her ex-sister-in-law and stuff. And when I came home, Saturday, so on Friday night, when I came home, I got home about 20 past 10 on Saturday morning, and I had to just, get cleaned up to go to work. I got home Saturday evening, and I thought, okay, I'll just gonna rest for a little bit because I had to go and go shopping and, get things organized and whatnot. I came home, I left again, and they looked at me and they were yelling at me when I was walking out the door again. When I got home about 9 o'clock or so, and I lay down on the couch, they both jumped up on me and pinned me down. I wasn't allowed to move. Can you hear me eating ice?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. So, here's something that's really, really cool. Well, in my opinion, because I love food and I love India. India gives King of Sweets a geographical tag to end bitter rivalry. Kolkata, India. India has awarded a geographical indications tag to Rasgulla, the king of, what is it talking about, Rasgulla, the king of Indian sweets, after a years-long battle between two neighboring states over the ownership rights. Luscious rasgulla, or sweet cheese balls dripping with sugar syrup, have long been a favorite dessert across the Indian subcontinent and among the diaspora. But two eastern states, West Bengal and Odisha, have been arguing over the origins of rasgulla, which means a ball of sweet. They consulted historians and produced old documents to support their claims. On Tuesday, the Federal Commerce and Industry Ministry ruled that the sweet originated from West Bengal, giving it the coveted geographical indications tag. Excuse me. The World Trade Organization says geographical indications defines a good as originating in a particular territory of a member or a region or locality in that territory, where a given quality, reputation, or other characteristic of the good is available. West Bengal's Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, welcomed the decision, saying in a Twitter post, "It was the sweet news for us all." So that's kind of cute, I think. You would think, okay, so Jimmy, here in the States, right? Like, you have things like pecan pie and pumpkin pie and, good fried chicken and stuff. And yet there are battles, like, where did chicken and waffles originate? Things like that. And it's a big deal. And you're thinking, it's just food. Who cares where it came from? It's good. We'll eat it, right? But, apparently people want, and I get that, because when I develop a recipe, I want the credit for the recipe I develop, so I get that. But at the same time, it's like, holy Hannah. But congratulations, West Bengal. You have created rasgulla, one of my favorite treats. Have you ever had rasgulla, Jimmy?
No.
Okay, so think about this. You take cream cheese, right? And you soften it up. Like, you whip it until it's nice and soft, right? And airy. And you add, like, powdered milk to it. Okay? Um, to get it to like the consistency if I could do. Right? The powdered milk works that way to get it to that consistency. You add spices to it. Like I like to put like cardamom and stuff. A lot of people don't add the spices. Anyway, these little balls are then deep fried, and they puff up into little golden delicious balls like the size of a golf ball or so, right? So it's like a fried cheese ball. Nothing bad with that, right? Then it's dipped and left to soak in a delicious rosewater syrup with a little bit of ginger and some cardamom and spices, warm spices like cinnamon and stuff in there. And it soaks that in a little bit. And there's, oh my god, Jimmy, can you imagine putting that in your mouth?
Sounds good.
It is delicious. That's what they were fighting over ownership rights of. So I thought I should describe it because it is freaking delicious. Okay. So I have some news for the world today. And worms were born on Mars soil for the first time. So while we may not believe that anyone will be forced to go to Mars, but if people want to become pioneers, the good news is, drum roll please, Jimmy. There will be salad. Okay. So, this was posted with permission from the International Business Times. The world is slowly accepting the reality that humans could one day be forced to move from Earth and look for a habitat somewhere else in space. And as our space exploration gathers speed, so does our understanding of our neighbors in space. Mars has emerged as a front-runner in the search for a possible future habitat. To this end, NASA has already encouraged private participants to submit their own Martian habitat ideas through events where participants design a sustainable habitat for man on the red planet. MIT's Redwood Forest idea recently bagged the prize for the most innovative Mars city design. The design used the model of a forest to design a collection of tree habitats connected through a system of tunnels called routes, which would provide safe access to other tree habitats, private spaces, and transportation for people living on Mars. In the latest in this string of developments, a team of researchers witnessed the birth of earthworms in Mars-like soil conditions during a lab experiment. The team of scientists from Wageningen University and Research in the Netherlands was looking to find ways to cultivate food on Mars-type soil using fertilizers and resources that would be available to the first human settlers there. The team was growing arugula or rocket sprouts on a Mars soil simulant provided by NASA. The tests included two types of soil. One was the Mars soil simulant, and the other was silver sand found on Earth. The team used pig feces as a fertilizer as opposed to human pee and poo, which would be the fertilizer of choice if we ever colonize Mars, for sanitary reasons. After the rucola germinated, adult worms were added to these test pots to help with the breakdown and recycling of organic matter and to promote plant growth on the Mars soil simulant. The experimental setup, which resulted in various flowering pots thriving, especially on Mars soil simulant, and as the experiment progressed, the team was surprised to find two tiny earthworm offspring in the pots, making it the first reproduction witnessed in a Martian environment simulation. Clearly, the manure stimulated growth, especially in the Mars soil simulant, and we saw that the worms were active. However, the best surprise came at the end of the experiment when we found two young earthworms in the Mars soil simulant, said Weiger Wamelink of Wageningen University and Research. A garden or a cultivatable piece of land will be essential if we were ever to establish a colony on our red neighbor. Food will be scarce, and the best solution would be to cultivate our own food. The positive effect of adding manure was not unexpected, added Wamelink in a news release on Wageningen University and Research official website. But we were surprised that it makes Mars soil simulant outperform Earth silver sand, he added. One of the baby earthworms found by the team was, there are pictures online, you can go check it out, but the addition of earthworms provided another breakthrough for the team with the Mars soil simulant. It was found that adding earthworms, even in Martian soil, helped the water penetrate further. This seemed to be the major problem with the simulant soil. The earthworms also thrive on dead organic matter, such as old plant remains, which they eat, chew, and mix with soil before they excrete it. Their feces contains organic matter that replenishes soil nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, and which is very integral to plant growth. The worms also act as natural irrigation systems by digging burrows. This helps aerate and improve the structure of the soil, making watering the plants more effective. To feed future human populations on Mars or the Moon, the Project Food for Mars and Moon was set up to help create a sustainable agricultural system outside Earth. It is based on the presence of soils and water in the form of ice on both Mars and the Moon. For the Earth-based research, we are using soil simulants delivered by NASA. The simulants originate from a volcano in Hawaii, and that stimulates Mars, and a desert in Arizona, and that simulates the Moon. So, excuse me. What do you say, Jimmy?
What?
What do you think about that?
Oh, I think it's just talking about going to Mars. To me, it's too cold to Mars, so...
Well, no, because they'll be building habitats beneath the surface, right?
Is that what they're going to do?
If we ever have a giant catastrophe here on Earth and there's necessity for human population to have a presence in Mars, then yes, if they're going to build a colony, the colony would have to be underground. We would never survive. Even the sunshine, the elements, you would never survive.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's why the soil would be frozen. But how are you going to grow anything underground? Just natural, man-made lights?
Yeah, you can grow stuff in hydroponic situations indoors now, right?
Right.
Hell, so many people grow weed in their basements. Come on.
Yeah.
But you can grow anything, really. In fact, did I ever send you a link for something that I found maybe a year ago? It was pretty awesome. It was like a, what do you call it, shipping container?
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so they have a shipping container that is turned into a garden. A self-sustaining garden, right? And it was a food garden. And what they were saying was that they can develop an urban farm in a shipping container. So this was like a couple of years ago, Jimmy. I thought I had shown you that.
I don't remember.
Okay, so pretty much, okay. Let's see if I can look that up. Farm. Okay. It's called a grow container. Okay. And a grow container, let me pull it up. A grow tainer. A grow tainer container, it's a patent pending. It's a highly engineered modular mobile vertical production environment, custom built for a wide variety of crops, botanical products, and business models. This is the company. Let's see. How do they work? Well, they're just talking about the actual containers. Let's see. Okay, let's look at an. Okay. A couple turns shipping containers into organic farms in St. Petersburg. In Petersburg, Florida. You wouldn't expect a farm to be planted in the industrial area of St. Petersburg, but that's what's growing near downtown. Brick Street Farms is an indoor hydroponic farm that grows leafy greens and herbs year-round in the Sunshine State. Shannon O'Malley and her husband were able to convert 3 shipping containers into environmentally friendly vertical gardens that grow 1 or 2 acres of fresh produce as an old junkyard. Let me see if I can look up something that's even a little bit better. How much food does a shipping container farm produce? Because I've seen them actually. Okay, so let's look at this. Right, Agrotech. Okay. Container farms come in all shapes and sizes, from repurposed shipping containers to custom-built units, and have the potential to bring locally grown produce to communities around the world. The problem: the metrics currently used to illustrate the container farm productivity are naive at best and misleading at worst. I don't actually believe that because I've seen. Oh, this is an old article, that's why. Okay. So, a 40-foot shipping container farm can grow 5 acres of food with 97% less water. So, Jimmy, think about this, right? You can grow 5 acres of food with just a 40-foot shipping container. How many 40-foot shipping containers can you fit on an acre of land? Not only that, Jimmy, but it uses.
Well, it depends if you're going to stack them on top of each other.
And you can. That's the thing. You can stack them. And along with that, it uses 97% less water. Communities that have to ship in fresh food from far away could start getting local produce right from their parking lots or warehouses, thanks to local route shipping container farms. The 40-foot containers house hydroponic farms that only draw on 5 to 20 gallons of water each day to grow produce like lettuce, strawberries, or kale. Popping up all around the United States, these scalable farms grow far more produce than any other indoor farming solution on the market, according to co-founder Dan Kunzel. Local Roots is even talking with SpaceX about using their farms in space. So now let me send you a link, Jimmy, so you can see it. And listeners, you can go to inhabit.com or look up 40-foot shipping container farms, and you will be able to find this article as well as the links and pictures that we will be describing in just a minute, okay? Jimmy, do I poke you or poke the producer bot?
Produce, for which?
For the link.
Yeah, but do the Flint.
Okay. Alright, so, listeners, let me describe this to you. In a 40-foot shipping container, you have double rows of, let's say, lettuce, right? Bed lettuce. Or whatever type of leafy green. Let's say you're growing kale because it's higher in all of the nutrients and all that stuff, whatever. These tables are stacked like swinging, hanging shelves, one on top of the other. And they go straight up and down the length, and you pretty much don't really need to have any type of aisle space for people to walk through, etc. Local Roots 40-foot shipping container farms, called Terra Farms, grow produce twice as fast as a traditional farm, all while using 97% less water and zero pesticides or herbicides. They can grow as much food as could be grown on 3 to 5 acres. They're able to do this thanks to LED lights turned to specific wavelengths and intensities, and sensor systems monitoring water, nutrients, and atmospheric conditions. The process from setup to first harvest takes only around 4 weeks. Terra farms can be stacked and connected to the local grid. CEO Eric Elstad said in a video 30 million Americans live in food deserts, and their farms could be placed right in communities that most need the food. Los Angeles is already home to a farm with several shipping containers, and a similar one will be coming to Maryland this year. It could offer local food like strawberries in January. And local roots technology could one day allow astronauts to consume fresh produce in space. Their growing systems could offer a food source on long-term deep space missions. The opportunities are global and intergalactic at the same time. How pretty awesome is that? It's freaking phenomenal, because like right now they were focused a few years ago on things like kale and spinach and strawberries and vine fruit, right? You can't really grow trees. So you're not going to get peaches, you're not going to get mulberries and blackberries and stuff like that. But if you can grow in this small scale right now, if you can grow anything that can like carrots can be grown, broccoli and cauliflower and stuff like that. Now imagine this. With this happening, if they can use, instead of using a 40-foot container for thousands of little lettuces, carrots, whatever, if they can put in the equivalent of, let's say, 10 trees in there, right? And have because they have the technology to grow plants, which means that they do have the technology to grow trees. They can put in dozens of miniature fruiting trees, and the trees will also produce oxygen, which will sustain astronauts' environments in outer space as well. So not only do you have the fruits, you have the oxygen. Well, think about having this technology shipped and assembled to Terra caves in Mars, right? Biodomes. You're gonna have the ability within 50 years or so. We're gonna have the ability to grow anything we could grow on a farm. And once you have 97% reduction in water usage, then you have these trees producing fertilizer and stuff, or you have the ability to grow hay or wheat for animals. You can start having smaller and smaller little farms, right? You can have goats and pigs, Jimmy, right? Think about it. Can. And once you have something like that, you might not have, once they bring the technology over there, you can set up and eventually have an underground farm that would be, well, self-sustaining. Once you have food sources and you have animals and plants and stuff and something producing oxygen, once you have that gravitational force, fixed, what's to stop us from being able to colonize the world, the universe, the galaxy, right?
Right.
Or at least survive if the Earth decides to implode. Okay.
If the Earth decides to implode or whatever, we're not going to have that resource anymore. You know what I mean? We won't be able to get uranium, stuff that we're going to need to keep these colonies going.
Well, no, what I'm saying is that if we can set up these colonies prior to the Earth imploding, right? And these colonies are set up for the next couple hundred years, and they become self-sustaining. What we're going to need?
Self-sustaining, but not self-sufficient. Like I said, you're going to run out of uranium. That's what's going to give the heat or whatever. You know what I mean?
No, because they have other sources, Jimmy, solar sources that can be used for power.
Yeah, that's primitive, but uranium would be the one where you would use the least.
Okay, and maybe you're right, but what I'm saying is that if they become self-sustaining and eventually become self-sufficient, we're not gonna, and then you can't assume that whatever, materials are needed might not be able to be mined there as well, right? I'm sure what my whole thing is this. How cool is it that we are living in an age of education where dreams and theories and fantasies and science fiction from 50 years ago have a specific reality. Now, even though it's like a child being born, right? This technology shows us that this can be done. And all they have to do, and once technology takes off, Jimmy, they start growing on that technology fast. So you have a system where you can have, think about this. Would you mind living like a farmer on a new world? Discovering the new world, you have a group of people that you actually like and care for, and you're working with, and you're working like the pioneers in the West did. It's going to be hard. You don't have resources like they didn't have resources. Yes, right. It's going to be hard, but it's doable. And honestly, there are millions of people around the world who would jump at an opportunity to live simply.
Right, especially in another planet.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So
like I said, I do it now. I'm 60 years old. I've lived my life on Earth. I'd go in and do another 30 years or whatever.
So what if 150 years from now they're able to do that? What if 100 years from now? What if tomorrow they came out and said, "Boo, we've been working on this for the last 60 years and we got it. It's good, and we've been sending scientists and research groups to these places for a long time and you guys didn't know, and we are ready to invite the general population to sample this." What are you going to do? Wouldn't you jump at the chance?
Right.
Like, a lot of people would. A lot of people don't have a huge family connection or anything keeping them here. They would jump at the chance to start over, relocate, be somewhere new, work hard. You know what? Might be a good prison system too. They're not good for Australia. People had to work together to survive. Right? Just a thought.
They did, even in the pioneer days.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They had to work together to survive when in Australia for a penal colony, and Australia is a thriving, beautiful nation now.
It's like when the Pilgrims come over there, they had all worked together to survive. And if they didn't have the help from the Indians, they would have never made it through the first winter.
Right.
They would have all died.
That's all I'm saying. But I'm looking at this, Jimmy, and I think we have to break for commercial, don't we?
Yes, we do.
All right, so let's break for commercial and pay some bills, and when we come back, more from our sponsor, more from us after these messages from our sponsors.
A big noise playing in the street, gonna be a big man someday. You got mud on your face, you big disgrace, kicking your can all over the place.
Are you hangry? Know the signs. Uncontrollable yelling.
Why aren't you egg rolls?
Hallucination.
Sushi.
Pants discomfort.
I hate you, pants.
Hangry. It can happen to anyone. Fortunately, there's E24, the app that tells hunger to shut up.
Egg rolls. Thanks, Snoop.
E24. In my medical opinion, it's the best way to order food online, baby.
Do you know how fast you were going, son?
Call me Ed.
Do you know how fast you were going, Ed?
You mean exactly?
Yes, exactly.
No, not exactly. How fast?
Fast.
Faster?
You were going very fast.
Fast is my job, officer.
Fast is your job?
Yes, sir.
What kind of job?
I deliver, sir.
What do you deliver?
The world's greatest gourmet sandwiches.
I thought Jimmy John's had the world's greatest gourmet sandwiches.
Jimmy John's does have the world's greatest gourmet sandwiches.
So you deliver for Jimmy John's?
I deliver for Jimmy John's.
So do you always deliver fast?
I always deliver fast.
How fast?
I deliver something so fast you freak.
It's not smart to freak a cop, son.
You didn't order Jimmy John's sub, sir.
So if I did order a Jimmy John's sub, when would I get it?
Now.
What if I don't want it now?
Then call later.
Or I could pick it up myself.
Or you can pick it up yourself.
Because I'm pretty fast, too.
I'm sure you are, sir.
Very fast.
I believe you, sir.
Faster faster than you.
No way, sir.
Way faster.
In your dreams.
You dissing me, son?
No, sir, I'm polite.
Fast and polite?
Very polite and very, very fast.
Is that a challenge, son?
No, sir, it's a fact.
Let's burn rubber, kid.
It wouldn't be fair.
Why not?
You've got a fully blown V8 Camaro with slicks and headers.
So?
I've got a 10-speed bike.
I'll let you off with a warning.
Hey everyone, I want to tell you all about an amazing salon. Joyce's, located at 132 Ferry Street in Everett, Massachusetts. Joyce's specializes in the latest techniques in coloring, styling, cutting, and beach waves. Joyce's features Sukesha all-natural nutrient products and organic color. Joyce's full-service spa and salon, located at 132 Ferry Street, Everett, Massachusetts. 617-387-6688. Specializing in you.
Hi, my name is Amrita Narayan, aka Valainistima. Amrita means ambrosia or nectar of the gods. Valainistima means seeker of divine knowledge. Join me every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern for a night talk with Joe Rocks, exclusively on TuneIn Satellite on Armed Radio Global Network, where we will discuss food, culinary arts, baking, cooking, food preparation and presentation, bringing you a little bit of the divine knowledge so you can create your own nectar of the gods.
Plan your visit to Savino Vineyards in Woodbridge, Connecticut today. It's a family-owned and operated vineyard that grows premium grapes on 8 acres of land and produces a fine selection of wine on-site in a historic barn. Savino Vineyards is a bronze medal winner in the Amenti del Vino International Wine Competition, and wine tastings are only $7. Visit SavinoVineyards.com to find out more, and follow Savino Vineyards on Facebook. That's SAVINO Vineyards. Or call 203-389-2050 for more information.
Hi, and welcome back to this week's episode of Talk Time with Val. So we have been talking about Mars and colonization being, something that might be possible in the future. And the next for you guys is Tesla. Now, this is pretty awesome. Nicholas Tesla. Well, Jimmy, do you know who Nikola Tesla was? Nikola Tesla, not Nicholas.
Isn't he the one that did the radio?
Well, you know Thomas Edison, right?
Yep.
So Thomas Edison was actually just a thief.
Oh, why? It was Tesla that knew about the
Tesla was the
theory
genius
of electricity?
Yeah, Tesla was the genius, the mechanical engineer and physicist who came up with everything that has anything to do with modern alternating current and electricity supply. Edison stole Tesla's ideas. And the world knows it. And Edison made a profit out of it. Tesla wanted to donate it to the world. Tesla's ideas and inventions were supposed to be a gift to the world. Tesla wanted no money for it. He wanted the world to have free power and the ability to basically be able to thrive and live and survive like a utopian society. But of course, Edison wanted money. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay.
Sounded like one was better off than the other.
Well, Nikola Tesla was a Serbian-American inventor, electrical engineer, mechanical engineer, physicist, and futurist who is best known for his contribution to design of the modern alternating current, AC, electricity supply system. Born and raised in the Austrian Empire, Tesla received an advanced education in engineering and physics in the 1870s and gained practical experience in the early 1880s, working on telephony at Continental Edison in the new electric power industry. He immigrated to the United States in 1884, where he would become a naturalized citizen. He worked for a short time at the Edison Machine Works in New York City before he struck out on his own. With the help of partners to finance and market his ideas, Tesla set up laboratories and companies in New York to develop a range of electrical and mechanical devices. His alternating current induction motor and related polyphase AC patents, licensed by Westinghouse Electric in 1988, earned him a considerable amount of money and became the cornerstone of the polyphase system, which that company would eventually market. Now, attempting to develop inventions he could patent and market, Tesla conducted a range of experiments with mechanical oscillators, generators, electrical discharge tubes, early X-ray imaging. He was like the father of all of this stuff, right? And did you hear who he was working for? Or whose company, whatever? You understand who he was working under? You get what I'm saying? He was working at Edison. Okay. And, yeah, his inventions were superimposed, stolen, and it was wrong. It was horrifically wrong. Tesla dreamed of the world having free power. Wouldn't you think of how much money you would have saved, Jimmy, if you didn't have to pay for electricity and telephone and things like that? Jimmy? Hello? I'm not sure what happened just now.
I'm refreshing my drink. What did you say now?
Oh, I said imagine a world where you never had to pay for electricity.
Yeah, I know. Well, they'd have to produce it somehow. I mean, that costs money.
Okay. No.
So I don't think he'd ever get rid of the electric bill.
No, because, okay. One thing that Tesla truly believed was providing free energy to the world, and much of his life's work was geared towards doing just that. In 1899, Tesla made a breakthrough. He wirelessly transmitted 100 million volts of electric power over a distance of 26 miles and lit up 200 light bulbs and powered an electric motor. Tesla received funding from J.P. Morgan to finance the building of the Wardenclyffe Tower, the Tesla Tower, in 1900. The tower was 187 feet high and was built with the aim of transmitting electricity around the world, as well as telephone messages and military communications. When J.P. Morgan found out that Tesla was to provide free energy, he sabotaged the project by pulling funding, which resulted in the abandonment of the project in 1805. In 1931, Tesla announced in the Brooklyn Eagle that he could harness the energy that powers the universe and use it to give free energy to the masses. I have harnessed the cosmic rays and caused them to operate a motive device. He was using solar energy, Jimmy. Right? Basically, okay, more than 20, let's see, he said, operate a motor device. More than 25 years ago, I began my efforts to harness the cosmic rays, and I have succeeded. Electric power is everywhere present in unlimited quantities. This new power for the driving of the world's machinery will be derived from the energy which operates in the universe without the need for coal, gas, oil, or any other fuel. Jimmy, think of a society where we didn't mine for coal, destroy the earth. We didn't dig for oil and gas. Fuels like that. We use the sun to fuel the earth. We would
but you would save it for things like, you make airplane fuel out of oil.
Jimmy,
you know what I mean? Gas or whatever.
Jimmy, think about this. Yes, we use that right now, but if there was never a need for that industry, we would still have aviation industry. It would just have solar paneling on the airplanes to function for fuel. Instead of for the last 150 years developing, this kind of stuff, the oil and gas and this kind of stuff, we would have been using pure, clean solar energy, which means our inventions, like the motor vehicle, the cars and stuff, it would have technologically sound solar paneling, or it would have other types of fuel, biological fuel, that would be used. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, we use pure kerosene to fuel planes now, but that's because the oil industry has a ton of money and they developed that for that, and that's what the world pushed towards. If we had ignored JP Morgan Chase and ignored Edison, and we had gone towards energy-free electrical current energy, then heck yeah. Elon Musk has shown smart houses and communities that can survive and thrive with just solar energy. There is nothing that cannot be powered. Any fuel source. There is no fuel source that cannot be exchanged out. There is no modern convenience that you need to have a specific type of energy or fuel for. Substituted.
Sunlight, that seems to be the biggest one, other than
well, you have biofuel too. Think about this, right? We produce waste, human beings, animals, right? Do you know methane gas can be used cleanly in contained environments to produce,
Are you talking like methane gas or something?
Yes. We produce waste. If that waste is contained in a certain environment and the methane gas is contained in that environment, like let's say like a tube, right? Or a cylinder or whatever, right? And you have certain biological activity occurring in there, like enzymes and bacteria and stuff. All it would take is like a little escape of the gas. That type of energy can actually power a lot. We could use our own world, everything, we could use natural things to power the world. We did not need oil and gas and any other fuel, coal. You can imagine how the statement that Nikola Tesla made 25 years ago, made in 1899 or 1931. You can imagine how his statement upset many people. If the world did not need coal, gas, or oil, then the corporations that were making millions and billions of dollars from selling them would be out of business. Excuse me. Tesla went through a number of patent battles. Many of his patents were lost. The industries paid people at the patent offices to destroy his patents. Many of his ideas were sabotaged due to the fact that they would have destroyed corporations that were making millions from charging society for energy. Tesla was pushed into poverty. He was labeled as a mad scientist, and the powers that be made it their mission to ensure that his work did not become publicly known. In 1943, Tesla died at the age of 86. The government confiscated his notes and hid them from the world. Many years later, in 2003, a company named Tesla Motors was incorporated by Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning, named after Nikola Tesla. The company was to commercialize electric vehicles using an AC motor, which was built on the foundations of a design that Nikola Tesla designed in 1882. In February 1st of 2004, Elon Musk, co-founder of PayPal, invested in Tesla and became the chairman of the company. Tesla Motors have created several electric cars, all of which save on energy costs and help the environment by producing zero emissions instead of gas. Instead of gas stations, Tesla cars can be recharged by using any of the number of free charging stations. Tesla owners can simply plug their cars in and around 20 minutes later be completely recharged, taking up the motor industry and upsetting fuel providers. More recently, the journey to Nikola Tesla's dream of free energy for everyone has become another major checkpoint. Recently, Elon Musk announced, you know who Elon Musk is, right? He's a freaking god. I love that man. He's brilliant. Recently, Elon Musk announced Tesla Energy, a battery system that stores electricity from solar panels and can power homes and businesses. There are two products, the Powerwall and the Power Pack. The Powerwall comes with a 10 kilowatt or 7 kilowatt unit and can create networks that can be used to store redundant power or ultimately enable homes to eliminate the need to be connected to a power grid. The Power Pack is on a larger scale aimed at businesses. Again, the Power Pack can make up networks that can completely eliminate the need for existing energy grids. The Power Packs are 100 kilowatt units that, when connected, can, as a network, can be anything up to and above 10 million watts an hour. During a press event, Elon Musk stated that with 160 million power packs, he could power the entire United States, and with 2 billion, he could power the entire world. This announcement is no doubt upsetting many corporations. The technology will obviously revolutionize how we power our lives and reduce the cost of powering our homes and businesses to next to nothing. Jimmy, think about this. If you could pay $20, or if you could pay $200, Jimmy, right? Buy a power pack that was sufficient, and you plug it in. And this is clean energy that is now running everything in your home, and it will never shut down, right? Would you do that? Pay $200 for it? Or would you keep paying $200 a month for electricity?
No, I know what you mean, but the initial payment you would have to make would be more than $200. That's
no.
It eventually would pay for itself.
Right.
I understand that.
But what I'm saying is it's not going to be exorbitantly priced either. What Elon Musk wants to do is he wants to achieve Tesla's dream, which is if corporations are buying it, they are studying the costs, right? Corporations that are producing things. But like he sells his electric car, Jimmy, it's free to power up at any power station. You get what I'm saying? What I'm saying is that he's trying to get these items out to the masses. If you can't afford it, he's going to make it affordable. That is his dream. His dream is to basically achieve Tesla's dream, which is basically to make sure that the masses have free power and energy. Clean free power and energy.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I think it's amazing. I think he's amazing. I think, well, we all know that I have a crush on Elon Musk, and I've had a crush on him forever. The man is freaking phenomenal. He is a genius. He is... I just said he was a god. Okay, maybe he's not a god, but, I mean, you know, he is literally saving the world, and he's beautiful to look at. I'm sorry, he just is. Okay? He's from South Africa. He is an engineer. He's an inventor. He's a CEO. He actually, if I'm not mistaken, you know so you know that NASA used to drop their their trusts, the rocket propelled trust into the ocean, and they could never land a rocket safely back on Earth with the trust packs there on it. Wasn't it in 2014 that Elon Musk made that possible? NASA could finally send a ship up into orbit and bring it back down and land it safely. Who did that? Elon Musk. Why did he do it? Because he's a god. Okay. Just saying. But yeah, he, I honestly don't know why.
We gotta wrap it up.
Okay, I understand. You're getting mad at me for not loving you as much as I love Elon Musk. It's okay,
Yeah,
Jimmy.
I know.
I still love you.
Just when it was getting good.
I still love you. It's okay. Alright, so you know what? I think I'm going to do another show based like this. We're going to look at people who are brilliant, who have changed the face of the world, and how they've contributed, and yet the general masses know nothing about them. They know their name, but they don't know anything about them. Alright, so join us again next week for that episode. And until then, my dear friends, be well, be safe, and blessed be. Mwah.